Hello everyone, Krydax here. Welcome back to our Pyanodons playthrough. So in our last episode we established these arcads and they're working on getting some empty honeycombs ready and just reproducing more of the arcads. That way I can set up some honey production at some point. So as I mentioned an episode or two ago, I think I'm going to work on just getting the rest of the AlienLife stuff going. So I'm going to work on cotton guts next, which are like little rat, mice, rabbit things. So they look kind of ugly, kind of cute. I'm not really sure which one. And cotton guts are kind of interesting because they allow us to, I mean, first of all, I think they're probably pretty good for getting like bones and guts and stuff. And you don't have to have any cages. So that means we're not using metals to create them. And we'll just have to see the different types of ways to produce them here in a second. So let's dive in to how to produce, well, our first one. So there's cotton gut pups, and then there's cotton gut studs. And studs are the ones that actually breed cotton guts. And then I think there's also regular cotton guts. So there's a lot of different types. So we're going to need one of these because this is what will actually run the building in our creature chamber. So I'll need 5 Earth DNA samples, and then I will need 1 mouse DNA sample. So I will need some cotton gut codexes here, and then we'll go ahead and throw those in here to get our... So we're going to need potatoes at some point too, whatever comes from that. So mouse DNA sample, and we will throw in our codexes wherever they went. I only need 1. Gosh, inventory's so big, I can't find nothing. There it is. Okay. So then that will make a mouse DNA sample, which will go in here. We're also going to need some, what are they called? Sea sponges. I was looking at this earlier. We also need basic food for them, seaweed, and bedding. I really have to have bedding? Is that right? That doesn't feel right. Yeah, this is a little confusing. I wouldn't have imagined these would require bedding because cotton guts are available in red science, the first stage. So let's just look here. That does require bedding. That's so weird. I guess that's kind of just what you get with Pyanodon sometimes. Maybe you don't need pups at all in the first place. Maybe that's where I'm incorrect. So making cotton guts, we just have to have the lab running, the Prandium lab. Yeah, so these are pretty similar. That just has Ralesia seeds. And unless I'm missing something, I think we do need bedding, which is interesting. Because bedding requires the Yotoi leaves and Grod, no matter what. And that requires advanced green science. So I guess we're not getting cotton guts anytime soon. Let's go ahead and work our way towards Yotoi. Hello. Corlexes will establish. Those can get us Corlex milk somewhere in here, which is used in who knows how many recipes, probably a bunch. Then I'll need genetics. Then I will need Yotoi, aloe, and then Grod. I feel like I'm missing something, but sometimes Pyanodons does this, where you unlock something in red science that you can't even touch until late in green science or something. But I just cotton gut. So the food I can make, I have all that stuff. Definitely can't get Mark II cotton gut, stud, pup. Required. There's only one recipe for them, and it's this. So, yeah, I mean, I guess this is our only option. And then those can be fed, essentially, to turn into regular studs. So you kind of have to grow them up. But then once you have the studs, you have them forever. It's also interesting here, I'm noticing that there's... So you have to start with 2 studs, and then you only get 1.5 back. So I'll probably need to make like 5-ish to be safe, at least 4. Because if I have 2 and then I lose 1, and it looks like there's only an 80% chance that you get the pups, so you may end up just kind of running out. But yeah, so sea sponge, just kind of looking at this. Sea sponge, not the annoying one. So sea sponge Mark 1, or sea sponge sprouts comes from the Mark 1, and the Mark 1 comes from sprouts, tailings, and Zogna bacteria. Okay. And the Zogna bacteria, there's only one recipe for, which is this. Alright, where to start with all of this? I guess we'll go ahead and get sea sponges going. I'll add that to my to-do list. And it'll just be a while before we actually get cotton guts going, because they require bedding, and we are very far from having bedding, because there's at least 2 new plants before we get bedding. But sea sponges I can do. Sea sponge. Okay, that's apparently not the name of it. So I'll just have to find it in here. Do you guys see how big this list is? Although I think I actually did see it near the top here. Funnily enough. Maybe I'm making it up, but I thought I saw it. Maybe not. Oh, there it is. Sea sponge sprouts. Okay, I don't know. Let's start with 1. We'll work our way backwards from there. Yeah, probably not going to do 1. But we'll see what we do. Okay, and then I can make it out of Zogna bacteria and tailings, or Zogna bacteria and phytoplankton. The phytoplankton is much more productive, which means over time we need a lot less Zogna bacteria. So I'd like to do that if possible. How do we get phytoplankton? Oh, that's easy. That's nice. Phytoplankton only requires iron ore. Look at that. Although a decent amount of iron ore. Whereas if I used the other recipe for sponges, which would be tailings, and we should turn on matrix solver here. So 40 Zogna bacteria and 100 tailings, or, oop, that's the wrong one. I guess I need to delete the other recipe. Or 8 Zogna bacteria and 8 phytoplankton, which is 6.4 iron ore. So essentially I can spend iron ore to save Zogna bacteria. Considering iron ore is free, that seems worth it. Maybe I'm crazy. How much iron ore is down here that we're mining? 1.2 million. It's actually running out. I'm gonna need to put more miners there soon. There's 36 million down here. Yeah, okay. I'll just use the iron. Because Zogna bacteria is kind of a pain in the butt to make. Because we gotta have lamps, which requires iron ore anyway. Lamps, glass, copper, petri dishes, which require the agar. That requires seaweed. This is kind of intense, actually. 1 is probably way more than I will need. Let's reduce this down to like 0.25 and try that on for size. And then the sponge culture needs to have sea sponges in it. So right here. Phytoplankton farm. I don't think we can put any modules in that. I don't think phytoplankton is like a module animal. Doesn't look like it. Okay. So then the Zognobacteria, this looks more doable. I'll need seaweed. There's a lot of different seaweed recipes now. I could do saline water and slaked lime. That's a lot faster. And slaked lime only comes from the acetylene production. So I might not want to use that because I don't really know if I'll run out or not. And then, let's see. Could use carbon dioxide from biomass. And then saline water made from salt. Or I could instead just use limestone and water. Let's compare that. So if I just use limestone and water, I'll just need 5 seaweed crop facilities and like 1 soil extractor. Or I can use 3 seaweed crop facilities and bring in some salt and biomass with those 2 buildings. I think I'll stick with less seaweed crop facilities for now. Empty petri dish, we can import. I think I'm putting those in a provider over here. But let's go double check. Someday I will improve my glass production, but it's been working fine so far, so I'm not too worried about it. Speaking of slaked lime, it looks like I have used all of it to make gobs of sodium hydroxide. So, there you go. No extra slaked lime. Okay, so what I want to do... Where did I use Zognobacteria before? I'm starting to consider maybe just using whatever we needed for green science. I think it was green science. Where was it? Okay, that was incubated petri dishes. No, it wasn't green science. It was circuits because I needed manure for urea. Yeah, this whole setup I already did for Zognobacteria was only for 1 per second. So maybe my sea sponge needs are not going to be this high. Let's take a look at cotton guts, which of course don't show up in here for some reason. What are they called? Up? Oh, I have this set on equals for some reason. I don't know what that was about. Okay, just kidding. It is showing up. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. So the only time we need sea sponges is to make new cotton gut studs. And cotton gut studs, we don't really need to be created constantly. So I am just going to siphon the Zognobacteria out from where it's already being made, which is, I think, down by circuits over here somewhere. Where are you, Zognobacteria? Is it in here? Nope. Where was I making that? Well, the manure is going in here, so it's probably being made right here. There it is. Okay, so what I think I'll do is I'll actually just use this Zognobacteria for sea sponges. Because we're not going to need a high production rate. In fact, we are just going to make everything right here. Because I think just one of each of these buildings is going to do it. Long term, I'm only going to need so many cotton gut stud pups. So we will need water, which I have in here already. And iron ore, which I will need to import. And we will put iron ore, I guess, in a different chest. Maybe a chest up here. And then we'll have that inserted into there. Wow, that thing can really book it. Oh, I'm on items per minute. I was like 40 per second. Wow. Not quite. Okay, so we need to request iron ore right here. I don't think I have iron ore provided anywhere. It looks like there's some already in the network, but I don't think it's by intent. So let's go throw some iron ore into the provider network, which will come from here. And we'll just limit that to like 4 stacks. And then we need a sponge culture Mark 1. Which, can I not even build that yet? Oh. You know, I should probably do the research before I try to build the thing, you know? And then someone in the comments was talking about PyScience not being that far. Because once we have PyScience, that'll actually help quite a bit. And whatever that recipe is not going to happen for a long time. We do already have plastic, poor alien sample, glassware, moss, solidified sarcoras. Comes from cotton guts is, I think, the easiest way to get it. But you do need plasmids, which we can do, and... Okay, we can actually do all that, not too difficult, but we will need cotton guts is the problem. So, we don't have cotton guts yet. And then Perogen comes from... Is it cotton guts as well? Yep, 40 cotton guts, and cytostatics, which requires some sea sponges, and decalin, which we can actually make. Artificial blood is a bit tougher. And then flavonoids, which requires the Yadels. So once we have cotton guts going, we will be close to PyScience, is kind of the big breakthrough that we need. Alright, back to sea sponges. So we need the phytoplankton and Zognobacteria, which is down here. And then we'll need a couple bioreactors. I'll probably just do one. Oh, this building's huge. Holy cow. Okay. And is phytoplankton... Oh, it's a liquid. I don't think I realized that. So we'll hook this up so the phytoplankton input is right there. And I didn't catch... If the phytoplankton input's on the left, the Zognobacteria is on the right. Right here. Okay, and then that will just be in a perpetual loop with the bioreactor. So we'll take out of that, put it into a chest. And these will just feed into themselves and feed into each other. So I think that should work. Because you use sprouts to make sponges, and you use sponges to make sprouts. Though we might have to manually watch that to get our first few sea sponges. And speaking of our first few sea sponges, that's what we need next. Sea sponge DNA sample, sea sponge codex. Gotta wait for our research to get done. We'll speed up time a little bit. And yeah, so I'll just make probably a couple of those. Those are made in the creature chamber. So we need some poor alien samples. And we need, I guess, just a chest for this stuff. So we're going to throw poor alien samples in here. I'm going to request biosamples so that I don't have to keep manually varying them over. And I'm going to request cDNA, just like 3. And that way we can have some more automation here. And unfortunately, we're going to have to wait on cotton guts, which is a bummer. Apparently there's another way to make neuroprocessors, which requires, looks like most of the ingredients for red circuits, plus brains, nexolite matrix, biosample, and agar, and nickel. All those other things go in circuits. Interesting. So you don't technically have to have cotton guts. But hey, here we go, sea sponge DNA sample. That's what we needed. I feel like another one just got added in. Oh, crustacean. Was that there before? There's so many different kinds. Okay, so sea sponge. Throw those in there, and then I need a codex. Probably 2. I accidentally just rotated this bad boy. Okay, and I'll go ahead and make 2. I'm happy with that. And those are automatically being fed into here, which needs to switch to a sea sponge Mark 1. And we need to feed it with 2 sea sponge codexes. And then I think we should be good on our first 2 sea sponges. And I'll just put that codex, the cotton gut codex, away because we're not going to need it for a while. Okay, so that'll work. It's a slow crafting speed, 300 seconds and 150 seconds. But we can finish setting up our sea sponge automation here now that I can build these buildings. Oh. Did I fail to realize that the recipe I want, yep, is not available until PyScience. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, well this was a huge waste of time, and we still have to import tailings. Dang. Okay, well, at least I know now. So tailings... There's a couple ways to do it. I could find... I guess I have some tailings right here. Whenever I make circuits. I should probably have barrels of tailings somewhere. Let's get that set up. I don't even have tailings barrels for things that need tailings. So somewhere we need an automated factory. I guess we'll just fit it in right here. Tailings, barrel, fill. Then we want our barreling blueprint. Okay, and now we can request tailings barrels all the way over here. Tailings barrel, 10, seems fine, maybe 15. And then we'll throw stuff into an active provider. Ooh, this just barely fits. Because we can take the barrels from this spot, and then we can put the barrels top right into an active provider. And this will be empty tailings barrel. I should probably write tailings, because there are quite a few different options for empty. And then we're going to have to switch this around. Something's wrong. Pick up, drop. We have tailings barrels. What is... There's a malfunction here. Oh, right. I just selected the wrong recipe. That'll do it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I've got tailings, and all we need is the sea sponges. Let's see if we've got any yet. We do, we almost have our second one. Look at that. And bam. So we've got our first 2 sea sponges, and we will feed those. I guess feed is the wrong word, but... Uh-oh. Let's cancel that. I made it mad. So we'll make 1 into 2 sprouts, and then we'll put those 2 sprouts into here. And I think I am going to remove the inserters just for a moment, because I don't want to accidentally use up all my sponges. And then those are used here. So this will make 2 more. And then I can loop it all back together. Yeah. Okay, look at that. That's cool. It's like a giant aquarium. Aquatic building. Alright, well, I will call that good enough. We'll check back in on that periodically, and eventually we'll be able to upgrade to the phytoplankton recipe. But since I only need a certain number of sea sponges in the first place to get my cotton guts, I feel okay about, you know, not having a full large amount of automation. What else can I get? Oh, I can make phytoplankton out of flue gas? Are you kidding me? Well, that's awesome. So that's going to be a much easier way to get it than iron ore. Because we can get flue gas even from tailings. Or I mean ash, sorry, not tailings. So we can just bring ash to wherever we need phytoplankton. So that's nice. I want to upgrade... there's so many different plants. What even are these? I guess these help us make acid gas and dimethyl sulfide. Cool. I don't want to deal with that yet. Well, that'll be on the list, though. We could improve our algs once we have bedding. So we're still on the bedding train. We need the Yo toy. Aloe tree. So we need to resume Corlex, genetics, and Yo toy. And we'll save microbiology for later. So then I guess maybe Corlex is next, since that'll finish here in a second. Let's take a gander at what I need for Corlexes. GMO glacial creature. Aren't all of these things genetically modified organisms to some level? Okay, so we do need quite a few things we haven't done yet. Fetal serum, which needs silver, so I should put that on the list. I probably have a lot of guts already from wherever I was rendering the algs, which at this point I'm getting lost in my base. Interesting. So I guess when you render AUGs, you don't get any guts. Also, I should probably check here. Do I have... No, we've actually used... For a second, I had a bunch of extra oleochemicals, but I guess now we've used it all up. That's probably enough empty honeycombs, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'll let it go for a little bit longer, but at some point we'll want to stop rendering AUGs. But anyway, I don't have any guts, but we also need silver. And silver can go along with improving lead. Those will actually go together, because that's what we need. To do silver, we have to do better lead processing anyway, because silver comes from lead. So that'll help us get the fetal serum, and then artificial blood. It looks like we're going to need, at some point, albumin is just 100 blood already, so we'll just have to get blood from something. I guess you can get it from these Arthurian eggs. Is there any way to get those at our current tech level? Arthurian breeding. Huh. Doesn't look like it. Looks like... I mean, what are Arthurians? Okay, stage 1, we need chemical science, so we can't even get Arthurians, let alone their eggs. Okay, so I can't make albumin that way, so we'll have to make it from blood. And we'll have to figure out how we want to do that. Maybe simic. So an AUG is 100. What's a simic? So many different options. Did I miss it? Was it right here? Caged simic. No? Maybe simics can't be turned into blood. Guess not. So many options. So little understanding. Muckmoo gets you 130 blood. So let's take a look at Muckmoo. Maybe I can handle those. Oh, nope. Those require good alien samples, which we've determined have a lot of things we can't do yet. Okay, so maybe we are beginning to run into a bit of a wall without the fetal serum. So let's plan on improving silver and lead next. We will move that up the list, which is something we've needed to do for a while anyway. So here we can see, I think I've already made the chain even. So I've already done lead processing 2, which is where we unlock silver plates. Yeah, okay. So here you can see our improved silver setup. Turns 10 ore, sorry, lead setup, 10 lead ore into 8 lead plates versus basic smelting, which I think is what we're doing right now. No, we are doing the screening. So we'll keep doing the screening, and we will add in a few steps here. Looks like that's repeated for some reason. And then we also want to make silver. Holy cow. Yeah, I forgot how horrible the silver ratio is. So essentially 1 silver plate is equivalent to 40 lead plates, if that tells you anything. Or 50 lead ore, in this case. So we will set up the ability to make silver, but we will avoid using silver wherever possible. So we'll just do this with an advanced foundry added in. Alright, so I can probably deconstruct all of this and definitely run out of inventory space. I'm just going to get rid of a few things so I can hold all the lead here, because there's going to be a lot of it. I think I'll actually keep those 4, and we will just put all of this inside a medium factory building. That's a lot of lead. Alright, so then we need a medium factory building, because I don't think I have one. And then I need to deconstruct this. Put all the lead over there, build the new medium factory building, maybe right here. So lead is coming in, and that is stacked coke. So then we'll place down this one again, where we can process the lead. And then we need to crush it with 2 impact crushers. Trying to make sure. So grade 1, we get more grade 1 back. So this will have an input priority right. That will come back around. And then we're crushing lead 1.667 at the most, but we only need part of the 2, so that's fine. And then these will output grade 2 lead directly. Here's what I'll do. I'll input into the 2 screeners that I need. And then I'll put the stone on a belt here. And the stone will go out the bottom of the building. And then these will have grade 1. Lead grade 1. Okay, grade 1. There we go. And so then this building will put stuff. Oops, that's not quite how I wanted that to work. So we should probably do output priority left for stone, because there's 3 different things on this belt. And then we want to make sure that gets placed on the left side, which is the right side over here. So that should do it, and then we'll have output priority there. This will be output priority right for grade 2 lead. And then grade 2 will work its way up here to a secondary crusher. And I believe that... Oops. Sorry, that's not grade 2. Grade 2 comes out of these and gets turned into grade 3. Yeah, okay. And these need to have stone as their filter. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then we'll connect these up. And this is not grade 2, this needs to be grade 3, which is why this looks all messed up. And then we've got lead dust. And we'll just run that outside. Of the building. And lead dust will go in a couple arc furnaces, which we'll just put out in the open here, along with graphite. Graphite comes from, what's it called? Coke. It's been a while since we've needed it, but it's not very difficult. So we'll just unstack this coke here. And I think I may have mentioned this last time, but I've kind of decided that long term, I don't want to stack anything anymore. So eventually I will have the time and energy, maybe after the school year's done. I'm a teacher, so maybe I'll have the time and energy to undo all the places where I stack things, and then change to a base where things are only ever unstacked. And the only time I will stack them is when I put them on a belt. That is the one time where I will. And this makes 0.33 graphite, which is plenty, so I don't need to worry about multiple graphite makers. And we'll make our electric arc furnaces, and we will grab the lead dust. That will make molten lead. I do need borax and sand casting, which is not surprising, because that's pretty much every one of these. So we'll take the borax out, and it'll go on the top side of this belt. So that'll get them the borax that they need. What is going on here? What is... Oh. It's the wrong pickup tile. There we go. Okay. My mistake. Sorry, good sir. Okay, so we need to request borax and sand casting. And I would use a belt of those things if they were really close, but it doesn't seem like they are. So here we need borax, 100's fine, and then sand casting. Probably like 50 is more than enough. Oh, and then hot air. Hot air. Well, hot air I can just pipe in, right? Don't I have it nearby? Yeah, we'll just use pipes. I already got the pipes all set up. So then hot air I'll have come down here. Why do I keep using regular pipes? I'm sorry, guys. I know we have niobium now. I'm going to fix this once and for all. Niobium pipe. Yes. It's over there, okay. So we're just going to have niobium pipes requested. And we're going to have niobium underground pipes requested. And then I'm going to get rid of regular pipes altogether. Although I do... You know, I shouldn't have done that. Regular pipes... I think underground pipes are fine. But regular pipes are used in a lot of building recipes. As you can see, there's 95 different options. Whereas underground pipes are not used. Okay. So I do still want to have logistics... Gosh, so many buttons. Logistics request for regular pipes. Which is maybe an argument to only... I don't know... to only use regular straight pipes and then underground niobium pipes, but then that looks really weird, and I'm not a fan of that. So then we'll put these in our hotbar, and I'm fine using niobium pipes for everything. I'm not using niobium for anything else, but look at that range. You can go all the way out here. Okay. And we only need 6, so I'm just going to use regular pipes to transfer. 6 per second, that is. Okay, so we've already got our molten... And then we need a single casting unit. I know we technically need 1.03, but I'm going to make an executive decision that says I'm okay with losing 3% of our potential lead plate. We're not going to need 8 lead plates per second anytime soon. Those will just output on a belt, and that'll go out to wherever it's needed. Now we also need to use, in order to make everything that we want, we need to use a foundry. And I'm trying to pre-fill this so that it backs up sooner. We also need a foundry making silver plates. Silver plates. Of course it's not called silver. Or that's not a foundry. Never mind. That was my bad. Am I out of circuits? Did I just use them all? Oh no, my circuits. All my circuits. What's happened? Alright. Of course, it's always the substrate. We're out of formica because we're out of fiberboard because I'm out of sodium hydroxide. Aren't I making it right here? Out of saline water coming from stone. Did I run out of stone? I did. Okay, well. There are better ways to make saline water. So I'm actually going to switch this up. What do I make it in, though? Of course, my inventory's full when I'm trying to do something important. Saline water from salt requires what? A washer. Oh, there was a washer right there. I must have just missed the recipe. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. So then, problem solved, we just need to switch that to salt request. I'll do 300. And that we have 25,000 of in storage. Because I'd rather use salt than stone. Salt is much more readily available than stone. You know, we've got an extra, like, 7 million salt right there, and the only thing we need to mine it is fuel. Stone's not too bad either, but I think the ratio is just worse. Okay, so I got distracted doing some things there. Let's see if I can get back to what I was actually doing. Oh, that's because I had to handcraft circuits and I was confused. Okay, so silver plates will come from lead dust, and those will go on an individual belt as well, to be put into a chest that will output to a provider chest. One stack there, and we'll go at most 2 stacks here, because silver is incredibly expensive. And then we have stone that we need to actively provide away. So we'll pop an active provider right there. Output mode every 10 seconds. Is that even a good idea? Yeah, I don't want to deal with long belts right now. We'll let the bots handle it. And just to kind of make sure we've got plenty of charging ports nearby. Alright, and then I will do one more thing, which is to utilize all of these lead plates first. So that'll be input priority right. Because we have a lot of extra lead plates. Okay, and this way we will use all the lead plates that I've already crafted first. Then we'll start actually making new ones. And look, our first silver. Huzzah! Very expensive, but we have it. So that's nice. So we can take improved lead and silver off of our list. Yay! And what does that stack to? 500? Yeah, I think 1,000 should be fine. And then this is just kind of refilling, I guess, what got taken while I was away. And then I've got a lot of extra coke in my inventory, which I probably should find a proper place to put it, but I'm gonna make the bots do the work. I'm lazy. I make them do a lot of work that I probably shouldn't. But I don't want to go find it. I don't know where that goes. Okay. I think I've gotten rid of everything that I don't need. At least most of it. I guess I don't need coal. Or stone furnaces. We'll make some more of the pipes here. Input-output pipes. I think that does it for inventory cleanup. And I think that will also do it for the episode. This seems like a good place to stop. We've improved our lead and solder. And we've also gotten quite a bit more of the AlienLife zoo started. We have phytoplankton, even though we didn't need it. We got sea sponges going, which I should have been checking on this whole time. We'll do that real quick. Sea sponges, please forgive me. Okay, so these two. One can go in there, and we'll speed this up by 1. Oh, and then I have saline water that, strangely enough, I might just sinkhole it. I should probably, like, care more, but I don't. Okay, so that'll make 2 more over time. I'm trying to think if there's anything I should do with saline water right there. I guess I could turn it into sodium hydroxide and chlorine. What else can I do with it? I think you can get the salt out of it, too. Is that easy? It's probably an evaporator. In fact, I'm going to go off the hunch that it's in an evaporator. These things tend to make sense. Yeah, right there. So, rather than just completely losing all of it, we'll at least evaporate it into salt, which will go into an active provider chest. So we won't totally be wasting it. And I think that'll do it. So we'll keep an eye on those sea sponges to make sure we get more over time. And then in the next episode, we will continue our track towards getting bedding going so that we can get cotton guts going. And then all the other land mammals, or I don't know if they're mammals, but land animals. How's that? In any case, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a pleasure playing Pyanodons with you, and I will see you guys in the next episode.